Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, gentlemen, it's Wednesday, which means we get to show the world how wrong we are on a regular basis. Write that down here. We got AJ making predictions again in place of sort of like part-time paternity leave Declan. Mm-hmm. Have you been handed the envelope for quarterback cesspool challenge this week? Or what was the teamwork like behind the scenes for you guys?
Exactly that. A little more teamwork, I think. I reached out. I was like, "Hey, what are you thinking? Let me know." And he's like, "Here's a couple options. I'll let you. I'll let you decide the order."
Collaboration. Okay.
I shamed him in the group thread. That's what I did yesterday. Since he took the ball out of AJ's hands completely. And by the way, AJ had a good call. So.
Well, yeah. So we're tracking a new category in the quarterback cesspool challenge as of this week. It's if AJ would have made the pick who he wanted to take instead of Declan, what's AJ's record versus Declan? So stick around for that here. But before we get to the accountability session and the predictions, North American Banking Company presents Write That Down every week here on Purple Daily and helps keep this a 7-day-a-week, year-round show. North American Banking Company, 1998 is when they were founded in Minnesota, and specifically for Minnesota. They now have 6 locations in the Twin Cities. So if you're looking for a better, more local, personal banking experience, North American Banking Company could be the bank that you transfer your funds to. So just go to nabankco.com/Mackey if you want to learn more about this Minnesota-based bank. That's nabankco.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And also a shout out to Roku, the official sports viewing TV of the Sports Dad, of myself, of Purple Daily. And Judd, what I love is this time of year, we were talking on Mackie and Judd yesterday. It's a great time of year for sports. You've got baseball playoffs. You've got football almost every night of the week or every day of the week. You've got the winter sports firing up in the preseason. And so it's a blast to fire up the Roku TV, gather around, have the dog sitting next to you, have Sonny Goff, your new child if you're Declan, and everyone can gather around, whether it's sports, entertainment, movies, whatever you're looking for. Roku makes it really easy to discover content. Better TV for everyone. Roku, America's #1 streaming platform. Go to Roku.com or a local retailer near you to find out more. All right, you guys.
Write this down.
Let me pop this up on the old screen here. If you're new, maybe you just discovered Purple Daily at some point this season, or maybe even this week, welcome in. Literally 365 days a year of Vikings takes, Vikings entertainment, and every Wednesday, we're the only show in America that we have found over the last 10 years, this and the OG Mackie and Judd edition on the Score North YouTube channel, that actually puts statistics next to our predictions, showing you pretty much how wrong we are all the time. But it's 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody on the show each week. They must be quantifiable. Those are pretty much the only rules. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. A touchdown is like something that is a lot less likely to happen. And then listeners, if you want to participate, like our guy Dan is about to here shortly, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for the upcoming weeks. All right, are you guys ready to be held accountable?
It happens every week. This time.
Yes, it does. AJ, you had a lot of things come off the board that we're going to get to. So sit tight. We'll start with Judd. You said the Vikings would hold the Browns to 90 or fewer rushing yards in that London game.
Yeah, I'm done with complimentary predictions about the run game.
Yeah, it was like $140.
Or the run defense, I should say. Yeah, it was a lot. It was not what I was hoping for.
That Judkins, man, he's pretty good. He's hard to tackle. Yeah. He's shifty. Probably a first-round talent who slipped to the second round. You said Justin Jefferson would catch a touchdown pass against the Browns? Sorry, that should actually be... No, it's wrong.
No, it's wrong. Yep, no,
there was another. I'm sorry. There was another one that was
some
Jordan
great
Addison
catches. He had some great catches, but yeah.
He had 10? Is it 10 catches? He had a lot of catches. I don't know. You said the Vikings will win exactly 4 of the first 5 games to start the season.
That Pittsburgh loss, man. Pittsburgh loss is killing me and them, actually.
And then you said J.J. McCarthy's first pass to Jordan Addison would go for 15 or more yards. It was against the Steelers. It was 22. We're going to give you a touchdown on that. Oh, I'm sorry. God, I'm struggling.
That's McCarthy. I wish.
Take this one. I'm sorry.
I wish that was the case.
I feel like this season, I'm averaging like 1 or 2 gaffes a week.
I mean, a touchdown too. Oh my God, I got a touchdown off the board.
I tease you. I'm sorry.
This is flag of the play. Bring it back.
Age. Oh,
I got to pull up the database. Here.
I mean, we should just stop. We should just stop the show now. Show's over, folks.
We need like another category. How many times is Phil going to screw up something in the accountability session? We're on like a 10-week streak right now, going back to training camp, basically.
How quickly do you think our YouTube viewers were, or how long, yelling at this?
Well, it's been up for like 3 minutes, right? So
no, I know. Judd didn't get that right. Didn't get that right. Sports dad, my ass.
So let's see, JJ. Well, you made that a long time ago too. JJ McCarthy's. Yeah, this is back in like the spring. I'm going in the database. I'm removing this. I'm sorry for teasing you. Sorry for messing this up. I will look at the film, correct it, and try to be better next week. Please don't punch me, Jonathan Gannon. Okay. $100,000. Ooh, all right. Which is, and we're doing Purple Daily NFL takes later today. I have a rant about this whole situation. I've just been sparring with people on Twitter the last 15 hours. It's so dumb. The whole thing. We'll get to it on Purple Daily NFL takes. Bad week for me. I said Dylan Gabriel would be sacked at least 4 times and would throw an interception or fumble the ball. They actually had a pretty good strategy. Just literally get the ball out, quick stuff, run the ball, play action. They kind of tricked up their passing game. They didn't really put him in a position to be sacked 4 times. Credit to them, I guess.
Yep.
I said the Vikings in the 2 European games would combine for at least 3 rushing touchdowns in the deep red, so inside the 10-yard line. Their first one and only one, I believe, was against the Browns, Jordan Mason.
Yes.
I said Ryan. What's that?
Oh, I was going to say yes. I think it was 3 yards, right? That was a nice red zone touchdown, a nice deep red TD, though. The type we haven't seen nearly enough in the last couple of years.
Said Ryan Kelly would allow fewer than 22 pressures on the season and will miss no fewer than 4 games. Or he would miss no fewer. It's supposed I think this might have gotten transcribed wrong. That he will miss 4 games or fewer, I believe was what I said here. But he's on IR for at least 4, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Before the bye week, Jalen Naylor will have a 100-yard game and a multi-touchdown game. He's flashed a little, but not quite to that extent.
All
right, AJ, you have 5 things in this. So we're putting AJ with the listeners group here. Wow. I think at some point, because you're going to be making a lot of predictions on Wednesdays, once we get some sample size, we might break you out into your own category.
And I'll be batting like 080.
Well, we'll start with the bad. We'll start with the bad here, and then it ended well. You said Dylan Gabriel would commit multiple turnovers against the Vikings. Myles Garrett would record at least 3 sacks. Vikings didn't give him a chance. I mean, they chipped him on almost every play. They were quick getting the ball out. You said Will Reichard would have 5 or more field goals in Europe and not miss a kick. Did he have 5 if the
he only attempted
Wiregate?
3. He only attempted 3, and then Wiregate happened on the 3rd.
Okay. Yep. So either way it went to.
Yeah.
You said the Vikings defense would have 2 or more touchdowns while in Europe. Mike said, we'll get to AJ's correct one here in a second. Mike said Jordan Mason would rush for over 100, receiving yards over 40, and a touchdown against the Browns. Alex said in London the Vikings would win by at least 2 scores, and McCarthy throws at least 2 touchdowns. Alex also said J.J. McCarthy's first home game of the regular season, Tommy Kramer would blow the horn, the Gallahorn. That one should have come off the board a few weeks ago. I don't think it was not Tommy. It was
No, it was not.
Jared Allen. Was it Jared Allen?
Yep, they honored him.
Allen. Camden said Travis Hunter would only be a wide receiver in his first season. He's been out there for defensive snaps. But AJ redeems himself. You predicted a Jordan Addison touchdown against the Browns. You got it right in there at the last second. That's a touchdown for you.
All right.
And then Alex said at some point this season, Judd will comment about J.J. McCarthy and Declan's fatherhood in the same comparison. You've definitely included them anecdotally a few times.
Yeah.
It's a loose definition here.
Oh, very complimentary.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to go review the tape to see if it's fully complimentary or sincerely complimentary.
I believe I was very excited about Sonny. I think I was very excited.
Just as excited as Kevin O'Connell is about JJ missing Thursday.
Has
he brought that
Declan,
up in the last week, or is he?
Yeah, he brought it up last week. I got a note that he actually brought up the missed Thursday practice again.
So every week since it happened, it's like a 3 or 4 week streak, right?
Yeah, which will only be broken because I don't think he didn't mention on Monday at his press conference, and of course they're off all week now, so he won't be doing pressers more. But he very well could resume it next week. But I told Declan, I said, there's a big difference in your paycheck and a professional athlete's. I begrudge no normal person.
Also, and
take as much time as you
want. Don't get me started because we're doing the normal person versus NFL culture thing for the Jonathan Gannon fine too. It's just like if my boss laid a hand on me, dude, you work at Staples. It's not the same. It's the NFL. Anyways, but yeah, if you're in the NFL and you're all in committed from August 1st or July 25th through the end of the year, coaches get pissed when you miss practice for any reason. Well, even if it seems totally illogical and potentially I don't know what the word is, but insensitive because someone's having their first child. He was clearly annoyed by JJ McCarthy missing a practice for his child. Clearly annoyed.
If a boss could physically strike employees, I would want to be a boss.
Oh, you want to strike me and AJ? Is that?
No, I'm just saying, there have been people, not you two in particular, but there have been people where if I was a boss, I'd hammer them, literally hammer them.
Put your shoulder pads on. I want to pop.
Yep, exactly right.
That's the other thing. The dude was wearing pads and clashing with 300-pound men for 3 hours, and the coach pops him in the a 180-pound coach pops him in the pads. Oh my God. He physically assaulted him. No, the defensive tackle physically assaulted him 5 minutes before that happened.
Well, anyways. that's why you got to keep that private. That's a post-game thing. Slap him post-game.
Yeah. People always want more access in the NFL, but when you really get all the cameras and you pull back the curtain, it's like walking into a wild animal zoo that you oh, wait, it's like this? Oh my God.
Ain't it great? I love it.
Declan, nothing came off the board. Something still on the board that we'll leave on the board, I guess, because technically he could still do this. J.J. McCarthy will have at least 3,000 passing yards by week 12. He's got to get going. Got
to play.
So season stats, I'm at 43.5% completions. Declan, 34.5%. Judd, just under 34%. Listeners, just under 33%. Judd, Dex, myself, each with 8 touchdowns. Listeners with 7 touchdowns on the season. So pretty tight touchdown race. Career stats, Declan, the completion percentage leader at 36.5. Listeners, the touchdown leaders at 67. So there's the accountabilities. Let's get Dan in here. Let me remove this. Pop Dan in here. Do a little boom, boom. Dan, what's going on, man? How's life with you?
Hey, great, brother. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming on. Got the twin support rocking on your head. Who's going to be their new manager? Who do you want to be their new manager?
Oh, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I got a couple.
I want Torrey Hunter. Trevor Plouffe is.
I was rooting for Torrey Hunter too, actually, but we'll see.
I want someone who can strike employees. I've just decided I love this idea.
How about when Jonathan Gannon gets fired soon by the Cardinals, the Twins should hire him as a
manager
to change the clubhouse culture.
Raging around the dugout, just get back in there.
You didn't run that out to first base.
Give me Pierzynski.
Pierzynski? Okay.
He'll strike somebody who didn't hustle down to first. Are you kidding me?
Call up Gardenhire out of retirement.
You know what's funny that Dan brings that up? I was just kind of thinking about we were doing there's Twins manager odds out the other day, and Toby Gardenhire is, according to one website, because he's been in the system. And I thought, yeah, I wouldn't put it past the Twins to reach back into the bag and just, hey, let's bring back someone familiar that we know can do it. Go bring Gardy back for a couple years.
That's funny. Yeah,
it's a non-zero chance. So, what about the Vikings? Where are you at going into the bye here, Dan? Where's your psyche at? 3-2.
I think the real season is going to start after the bye here. Actually, I think this whole first 5 games has just been kind of like a what is going on? We don't even know who we are. We didn't play anybody in the preseason. It's going to be a gauntlet. So I think the real season is going to start actually after the bye for this team, if I'm being honest.
I agree with that completely. And I think that's why being 3-2 is so crucial, because if the real season started at 2-3, I think you'd be in trouble. But now you're not. I mean, ideally you're 4-1, but 3-2, you're still very much in the mix. So I think they treaded enough water through the first 5 games to put themselves in a position to, and they've talked about this. Part of their thing is they don't have an identity yet, because they've had guys out. They've had just a lot of weird things. McCarthy's played 2 games. So O'Connell's talked about the fact that they need to find, coming out of the bye, their identity, which I completely agree with. Because if you were to ask me to say, okay, who are the 2025 Vikings, Sports Dad? I'd be like, I don't really know yet. I feel like we don't know.
Yeah, it's like they've given themselves, they passed the first challenge, which is just keep your season alive with all these injuries, get to the bye week, and then get some pieces back, and then start to move forward. But yeah, 2-3 versus 3-2 with that upcoming schedule would have been probably impossible to get back into the playoff hunt. So, Dan, you want to fire up your first prediction here? Are you ready?
Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
We'll go Dan, Judd, Age, and then I'll round it out here. 3 chips around the room as always. Let's go, Dan.
I hope I'm right about this, because the Vikings have been the most penalized team, I think, in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of their penalties are even pre-snap, which is weird. So they have to clean this up in the bye, and I don't know if it's just a combination of new players shuffling in and out, injuries. If it's just everybody seems confused, especially in the red zone. You can't take delay of game penalties in the red zone and lose it down. You just can't. So write this down. The Vikings will have less than 8 penalties against the Eagles at home.
Okay. Yeah, that feels like a good step. The pre-snap stuff is a problem, but also sort of understandable. I know Judd and I have fought about this. When you're running out all of those different combinations and different quarterbacks, and it's you're trying to get on the same page with what are we doing? What are we checking to? What are we looking at? And what's the new guy's cadence? And then there's a center who's never played before. It's you're probably going to have some early jumps or some bad formations. So, but you do have to clean it up.
I think it's probably fair though to say, starting out of the bye, it has to be fixed. If the first 5 games were sort of we don't know who's starting and blah blah blah, that's all gone now, because you will lose games. The Vikings are doing enough things that are troubling that will cost them games. The fumbles you cannot have. The pre-snap penalties, the penalties. Now, I will say this. If you go back and look at it, I believe against Cleveland, they only took 1 or 2 second-half penalties. So, and Cleveland took 13 or something like that. So, Cleveland took a lot of steps to lose that game, and the Vikings, to their credit, took advantage. But, yeah, I think starting with the Philadelphia game, the combinations, we've had enough of the combinations now. You cannot have that, because this team's not good enough to do dumb things. Mistakes happen. Dumb things shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Write this down.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jeb, what's your first prediction?
I could help a lot of teams out in this town. I'll just tell you that right now. All right, my prediction is this. The Vikings will trade Jordan Addison before the start of the 2026 season.
He took one of mine.
They will trade him.
We're all just waiting to make that prediction, right?
Yeah. Well, I looked. I actually thought, I wonder if I've made this before. But, things have calmed down a little bit. But I don't know when the trade. I don't think they're going to trade him in season by the November 4th deadline. But I don't think, after disappearing in London, I don't see how you can continue this. I mean, the dude literally came back for 1 game from a suspension, right? 1 game. Mm-hmm. And then the next week goes AWOL. And then It's, it sounds like behind the scenes that this was a mess and they covered it up as best as possible. And then Jordan played well once he was done with his first quarter benching. But I don't think this was the alarm didn't go off.
Yeah, the buzz seems to be that he was unaccounted for a period of time, right?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
You probably lost a lot of money on Sunday, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Because this is going to be a thing. Well, the 3 different transgressions, the first 2 that led to a 3-game suspension, and then this one that led to a internal 1-quarter suspension. Other teams are going to use this against him the rest of his career, or at least for the next contract. To Dan's point, so it's
write this down.
All right, Age, what's your first prediction?
Well, I'll stick with Jordan Addison here. And I think that because of his transgressions, and now he's staying back at TCO Performance Center, he said he's going to get some working with JJ McCarthy. They're going to keep that connection going that we saw in training camp. They're going to further it here on the bye week. So write this down. When JJ McCarthy comes back and starts as quarterback for the Vikings, his first touchdown pass will be to Jordan Addison.
There you go. The chemistry.
Like Why doesn't he just stay at McCarthy's house and sleep in the baby's room and change the diaper?
Honestly, yeah. I think
some accountability.
That's a pretty good punishment right there. Like diaper duty for missing a walkthrough.
Would you trust him? Would you trust Jordan Addison to? Would you leave your newborn baby?
Probably not
Alone with Jordan.
Probably not. But I love the idea.
Where'd they go?
I love the idea. Build like a guest house on O'Connell's property. And O'Connell gets the keys to his car so he can I got to go grocery shopping. All right, but the timer's on and track him. So his cell phone can be tracked constantly so O'Connell knows wherever he goes. I love this idea.
This could be solved just if he shared his location with, Kevin and maybe JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz, and they could always, listen, he's not at walkthrough. He's just at a club in London right now, everyone. It's fine. We at least know where
can you put a receiver on house arrest?
Well, what was the Michael Floyd thing from a few years ago? He was staying with Kyle Rudolph
in his basement and drank a ton of kombucha and got drunk off it.
That's right. That was kind of sad because he was he was an alcoholic, and it was
that was.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
I got to reformulate. I'd like to make an Addison prediction too, but it's I kind of figured somebody or multiple people would jump in. So I'll go to this one. There's been a lot of buzz in the nerd corners of football Twitter about Blak Brandel's PFF grade. So Blak Brandel started at center, played center for the first time in his football career, basically. And there was only one really kind of questionable snap. He didn't allow any pressures of note. And maybe it wasn't always super pretty, but he got the job done, and PFF came in and said, you were one of the worst players on the field that day, 41 grade. And then JFF came in, Jeremiah Cyril's Football Focus, and he's been ranting on Twitter about this too, and said, listen, it doesn't make sense. He was great for what they needed. So I'll just say this. PFF will give Blak Brandel, so it's a parlay. Blak Brandel will start the game against the Eagles at center, and will have a PFF grade above 50. So it was 41. It'll be above 50, which isn't gangbusters either. So he'll start and he'll have a PFF grade above 50 at center. Write it down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
And I agree with Jeremiah Football Focus here that whatever the grade was, it was enough for them to go 9 for 9 passing on the final drive. He was not noticeably terrible. And I kind of figured the snap stuff is going to be a huge problem. They're probably going to whiff on 3 or 4 snaps, or a ball's going to hit the ground, and knock on wood, that really didn't happen. So
offensive line was just fine.
Yeah. All right, back to Dan, your second prediction.
Okay, this is actually, I don't know, Mackie, I feel like you're going to really go after me after this one.
Nice.
All right. I have been a proponent since this happened that I was banging on the table that the Vikings should have hired Jim Harbaugh. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. I mean, Jim Harbaugh has, he's had success wherever he's gone. And I understand what the Vikings organization is trying to accomplish with this culture. But the philosophy of KOC and the philosophy of Jim Harbaugh are very different. The game starts in the trenches. I think KOC has gotten away with mediocre trenches because you have Matthew Stafford to a point and, some other stuff. But so if the Vikings, write this down, if the Vikings would have hired Jim Harbaugh, they would have been in this is hard to quantify. They would have a more consistent approach, and they would definitely have a better understanding of their identity of where they are now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We can't take it as a prediction, like an official write that down prediction, because it's not something that it's like a hypothetical, but it's a great talker. Do you want to put like a Jim Harbaugh record in his Chargers job thing?
We'll say this. The Vikings would have gone further. The Vikings would definitely be in a better position. I think when it's all said and done, Jim Harbaugh will have a better record.
There you go.
With the Chargers than KOC will have with the Vikings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Playoff record.
Oh, playoff record. Okay.
Yeah, playoff record.
Okay, better. And so this is a long-term Kevin O'Connell with Vikings, Jim Harbaugh with Chargers, playoff record versus playoff record.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I think they're a prisoner in the moment with Zimmer because Harbaugh is similar to Zimmer, but I can't get behind KOC's philosophy. I just can't.
Do you think what is it about KOC that you don't like? What's like the main quality or the main thing that you don't like?
I think there are many different ways to win a football game, I think, depending upon like what you have and stuff and who you're playing. But everywhere KOC has gone, even on the teams when he was in Washington, I think his run offense production has been terrible. He just doesn't emphasize it. He fundamentally thinks you can kind of skirt over the run. And it just that's a predictor of what the Vikings have been. People don't respect the Vikings run game. They haven't since when? Well, first year Dalvin Cook?
The Dalvin Cook Zimmer teams. But that's the thing, because people got so mad. The Vikings are just so predictable. They run the ball, and then pass the ball on third down. Jim Harbaugh, and I stand for Jim Harbaugh too. So I any sort of Jim Harbaugh propaganda, I will not disagree with you on. But Harbaugh's the opposite. He's an offensive guy who is a run game extremist, and he's brought Greg Roman along as his offensive coordinator pretty much everywhere. Well, in San Francisco and then now again in Los Angeles. And you look at them over the years, and they're always first or second in rushing attempts. So he is the if Kevin is like begrudgingly handing off more than he'd like the first 5 weeks of the season here, Jim Harbaugh is the other way. So, Judd, what's your second prediction?
There will be a field goal. There will be a field goal kicked of 70 or more yards in the NFL before the season is over, and that includes the playoffs. Somebody is going to make. There will be a field goal, a successful attempt of 70 or more yards before the season is over. I think we're going to go with a 70 burger, 71 burger, something ridiculous.
Have we had? Well, actually, didn't a long time ago in terms of attempts? My question is, how many attempts of 70 yards? Didn't the Raiders try with Sebastian Janikowski from 70? Way before it was ever. I think the record was still like 63 or something.
And the commentary booth is like laughing during the call of like them trotting out, like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah. But now it would not be laughable. There's about 5-6 kickers that maybe more were. I'm not saying it's likely they would make a 70-yarder, but it's no longer laughable because isn't the record 67 now? So we keep pushing it back. Yeah.
Yep. So in 2008, Lane Kiffin sent Seabass out for a 76-yard prayer.
76.
It fell nearly 20 yards short.
What's his range today? There's a little wind. Yeah, a little wind. Is he good? We good?
Let's
send him out there. Yeah.
Is that not the most Lane Kiffin thing though? Like if you were to
field
say
goal. Field goal.
Lane Kiffin just styling on the sidelines, got ski mask. Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah.
Sebastian Janikowski puts the bourbon and the cigarette down, walks off the yardage. I think I got coach. Yep.
I love Seabass. I love that guy. He was absolutely out of his mind crazy, but I loved him.
Write this down.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'll do the Jordan Addison one here. Oh no, AJ. It's AJ's. Did you make who made the 70?
I think it's my turn now.
Age, it's you.
It's your turn. Sorry, my bad.
I did the field goal.
Yeah,
It's
my
AJ
bad.
now.
Yeah, we're good.
Write this down. Carson Wentz will have a multiple interception game before JJ McCarthy returns from injury.
Wow, the negativity.
Love it.
Well, so you and Declan are collaborating on quarterback cesspool challenge and negative Carson Wentz predictions.
I just think he's going to get the start against the Eagles, and that Eagles defense is not a joke. So
yeah, okay. Although you can gash that run
Jalen
defense
Hurts, like cannot throw the ball. Like it's insane.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
They're
It breaks my heart.
But that defense is good.
Yeah, their defensive front, they got some dudes.
Write this down.
So is Cleveland.
Write this down. I'll add to the Jordan Addison. So I also had Jordan Addison will be traded by the Vikings at some point. I'll say this: Jordan Addison will be traded by the Vikings at some point for a second-round pick or better. So they're gonna get value for him.
That's a layup. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they trade him, I think the second-round pick is a layup. But he's also a really good player, and they are struggling to move the ball. It's not going to happen like before the trade deadline. But I do think that him going AWOL in London, anyone who was like, oh, it's been a year since he had any, okay, he's like maturing. Nope, he's not. And this probably resets that trust clock back at least a year or two. And there's no way they're going to trust him enough to give him a second wide receiver a huge contract. So it's a trade.
I get the impression
Jameson Williams contract.
I don't think you're going to give him any contract. Judd?
I get the impression that that KO thinks that he can save him. So I think someone's going to have to talk KO into, we can't do this. Like, it's just, you can't give him a contract because he's going to get a contract and it's going to be very nice.
Well,
and he doesn't have security right now and he's doing this. Like, that's my thing. You're on a rookie contract and you got 3 strikes. What happens when we secure your future and you walk away with a guaranteed check? I would have no interest in seeing that story end.
It's also, even without the trust issues, it's a questionable roster building tactic to give 2 wide receivers a ton of money when there are other more premium positions out there. And so as long as Jefferson is fairly highly paid relative to his position group and effective, then it makes even less sense.
The Bengals are doing fine. I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Bengals mistakes.
Yeah, the Bengals, like, everything looks great if those guys are all healthy and you got Joe Burrow, and maybe you can make it work, but not to win a championship. And then if one guy goes down, it's over. So, all right, Dan, what is your third and final prediction?
Write this down.
All right, so this is JJ McCarthy prediction. So JJ McCarthy just needs reps. I think everybody, this whole Carson Wentz thing, best player to win, best chance to win thing is a whole nonsense. It's JJ's team. He needs reps. I mean, he was in the facility all last year, right? So, like, I feel like everything is downloaded into his brain. He just needs to get the speed of the game. He needs to be in the game. I don't think anybody realistically thought there wouldn't be growing pains. I mean, I think the expectations were blown out of the water from Sam Darnold. So, like, if Sam Darnold doesn't win, like, 14 games last year, this whole thing, like, feels differently, looks differently. So what I'd say is, if he goes the rest of the season and, you know, whether he's healthy or not, and then we go into 2026 and he's still trying to figure out the speed of the game, we're piecemealing backup quarterbacks together, at the end of 2026, either Kwesi or Kevin O'Connor will be fired.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, what's the quantifiable prediction on this?
So if the Vikings if they don't make the playoffs in 2025 and 2026 with JJ McCarthy being the primary QB, either Kwesi or KOC will be fired.
Okay. I love it. Dan putting heads on hot seats here, putting butts on hot seats.
Write this down.
Love it, Dan. Dan, since you've got this life-altering platform here on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank or shout out or say hi to?
I'd like to shout out my mom for supporting me through all the football practices growing up. She was a wonderful woman. Shout out to all the Vikings fans. My first season ever watching the Vikings was 98. So don't ever lose faith. Keep on it. It's a good group of fans. And got these, the Vikings, make my blood pressure go up. So might as well. Has anybody else got blood pressure medication on Sundays?
Excuse me, not yet, but we're getting closer.
I'm sure there's quite a few, Dan. I'm sure you're not alone.
Drop those prescriptions in the comments below.
Yeah,
that's a new thing. Yeah. Show us, before the game starts, show us your blood pressure meds, Vikes. Vikes
I
fan.
just take drugs illegally.
Do you guys ever just like walk away from the TV and you just like for like a series or something watching this team? I do sometimes. I'm just like, I can't watch this series. I gotta go outside for a second.
I mean, I feel like I don't want to speak for Judd, but I feel like as the more you watch and then the more you are just like immersed day to day, we're talking on these mics every day, and it's my emotions have a little bit of a separation from what's happening on the field now. Like I'm able to process it more now, and okay, like what do I think about this car crash that's happening in front of me versus like feeling like I'm in the car crash, if that makes sense. I've created some safe emotional separation from Vikings trailing Steelers by 2 touchdowns late in Dublin.
I mean, to be fair, if Addison's in those first 3 games, we might be 4-1. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they might have snuck one of those. I think if Darisaw plays in the first couple weeks too, I think that Bears game looks different, and I think the Falcons game might look different too.
Isn't that a weird way to treat an MCL? Like,
how's that?
You like a pitch count. I've never seen that. Either he's healthy enough to play or he's not.
Yeah, there's
or if he's not healthy, start him in the second quarter and put him in the fourth quarter when it's actually needed.
Searles did a great job of explaining that he probably had some pain. Like there was probably something wrong. It wasn't a pitch count, which I agree completely with. That there was probably some pain. He did come back, to his credit. He came back before he was expected to, and he's been back on the field since training camp started.
Yeah.
So I think we're talking about a pain tolerance thing, and my guess is that the pain tolerance was very high or the pain was very high by Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Dan, great stuff, man. Good luck with your predictions. And make sure you don't forget your blood pressure medication against the Eagles here in a week and a half.
We'll need it. Thanks, boys. Appreciate
Pop
you.
an extra one. All right, there he is.
Hey, Dan.
Guest listener predictor, our guy Dan. Judd, before we get to our final predictions, before we get to a quarterback cesspool challenge here, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning is here to help as the cold weather months approach.
Yeah, so I'm outside today with the dogs, and I thought it's chilly out here, and then I took a breath and I exhaled, and guess what I saw? I saw some a frost on my breath coming out. Wow. So it's getting that cold, and that's where MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air is here to ensure your home stays warm and comfortable all season long. Trust the experts. MSP is your local carrier dealer delivering quality and reliability. October is the perfect time to get your HVAC system checked before the cold hits. Scheduling a tune-up now helps prevent unexpected breakdowns during the peak of winter when it's really cold outside. Carrier is a leader in innovative, reliable HVAC technology, known for their energy efficiency and durability. When you choose Carrier, you're investing in a system that keeps your home comfortable and saves you money on energy bills. So check out the website, call MSP.com. Call MSP.com or give them a call, 651-615-4292. They carry Carrier products. They do a great job. I've used MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. I can tell you right now, they are some of the best in the business.
Let's pop open the old Prize Picks app right now and see what's trending, what's popular here. So this is a great time to be on this Prize Picks app, and you can see right here how easy it is. They made the layout is so easy. You open up this app, and you select between 2 and 6 players. You pick more or less on their projected stats. And you can combine sports. So you've got baseball playoffs today. You've got NFL coming up later this week. You've got, let me hear, NHL. Are we regular season? We're regular season now, NHL?
Yes, started last night.
So there we go. Yeah, like Austin Matthews. This is for you guys. This is hardcore. Austin Matthews, 20.5 minutes on the ice. You can pick more or less on things. Like it's a treasure trove on Prize Picks of things that can make watching sports a lot more fun. You can win real money this football season. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code PURPLEDAILY to get $50 in lineups when you play just $5. That's code PURPLEDAILY on Prize Picks to get $50 in lineups when you play just $5. Prize Picks. Run your game. And also, we've been talking about these glorious Justin Jefferson Pepsi souvenir cups throughout the season here. Pepsi's the official beverage of the Minnesota Vikings. And when you get one of these cups, you can scan the QR code and enter to win Victor's Ride, a Polaris 1000 ATV. And there's only a few places you can get these cups. Inside US Bank Stadium, inside Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh locations, and inside Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Buffalo Wild Wings across the Twin Cities has these Justin Jefferson souvenir cups with the QR code to win Victor's ride. So check them out. Supplies are limited. Ask for one when you go into a Buffalo Wild Wings. And remember that Pepsi is the official beverage of the Minnesota Vikings.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay.
Before I get to my prediction, can I tell you guys a secret? But I need you not to tell anyone else about this.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I feel like when people say that, I don't know, like, what am I
I've been sitting on
committing
this.
to locking up? Like, what
No,
if it's
that's okay.
something heinous?
It's your decision.
I have to tell someone. I
It's
feel
your
like I need
decision.
to know what the secret is.
So before the last game at US Bank Stadium, you come in the main entrance there for the press.
You know,
you have to wait, and it's basically a freight elevator takes you up to the press box. So we had to go downstairs first to go back upstairs. And who gets in but Victor and his entourage?
Oh,
his
and
entourage.
his posse.
Well, he's got like 3 people with him who like help. I don't know if they help him around or what, but anyway.
So it was just you and Victor
It
and
was
his
a few
entourage?
people. No, it was me, Victor, the entourage, and probably 2 or 3 reporters, TV people, whatever. Anyway, so the guy who is operating the buttons, because there is a person that does that on game day, he basically starts to ask what floors, right? Like press box level, blah, blah, blah. And so I jokingly said, how's this going to work? Because Victor can't talk. Now I know his entourage can.
He could put up fingers.
And I hear, who says I can't?
Oh, no!
And I'm like, no! Victor and I had a conversation in the elevator.
What?
Oh.
I
know.
feel like that is a wild breach of
And then I was told by
protocol.
Victor. And then I was told in the press box, because I came out of it and I said, my dreams are shattered. My dreams are shattered. Victor talks. And I did get the old, shh, don't tell a soul.
Don't tell a soul. Just tell, the entire Purple Daily audience.
I was taken aback. I was Victor. I couldn't believe it.
Do you remember when Mike Grimm, the voice of Golden Gopher football, Mike
Yes, this is
Grimm,
another great one.
told us
Yes.
the Goldie? Now there's different Goldies, but I don't know how. It's always been a mystery how many Goldie Gophers there are.
Yeah.
But there's like, you got to have a hockey Goldie who can
Skating
skate.
gold. Yeah, exactly.
And there's all these other sports, Goldie, volleyball Goldie, and different Goldies and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were on, I think it was a Gopher football caravan thing.
It was,
and
a
they're
caravan,
out.
Yeah.
It's like a one of those like small kind of shuttle buses that has seats for maybe 10 or like 15 people or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're traveling around outstate Minnesota, bouncing around, and so there's maybe 6 people on this bus, according to the story that he told us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
And he knew himself and 4 others, let's say, and then there was one person that he didn't know who they were. It was like a student kind of age person. And so then they get off the bus and then they go into the event, they go into whatever, and they yuck it up and stuff. And so it's the 5 people, him and 4 other people, and then Goldie Gopher is also in the room. And so then they get back on the bus, and once again it's Grimm and 4 other people, and then like a college age student that he has never seen before, and he kind of goes over and he's like, "So what's it like? What's it like being Goldie Gopher? What's it like playing Goldie Gopher?" They're just killing time on the bus. And the student stares back at him and he's like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I mean, I'm just kind of curious what it's like being a mascot." The guy goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." He deadpanned it the entire caravan.
Well, didn't they have
That's great.
I thought part of the story though was like the Goldie Gopher had signed like someone's face or something. Like it was a really weird.
Got in trouble for signing a body part, right?
And like one of the administrators like, you can't be doing
That's
that.
what it was.
Like,
It was the administrator that was. Yeah.
And the guy's like,
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm.
And he's like, you cannot be doing this. He's like, look, don't talk to me. Talk to
You
Goldie.
have to hide it from you're supposed to hide that you are a mascot from all your close friends and family.
And I don't know who Victor is, just to be very clear. But I thought I was in a position of power in the elevator saying, you can't talk. And he's like, who says I can't? And I had to figure out where the voice came from at first too, so I was really thrown off.
Just like whipping his head around.
Where the hell did? Oh my God!
One of the most tormenting moments of my life and career in sports media was the first year at Target Field, and I'm a beat writer. So I've got to be in different places, clubhouse down here. But it was like I didn't know the stadium that well yet, so I took I think it was the first like homestand, and I'm leaving the field, and I try to go down past the clubhouses and just get back to the elevators and go up, and I took a right down the wrong hallway. And I opened up a door that I thought was to get back into, I don't know, the hallway.
Yeah, I've done this.
And there's at least half of TC Bear just hanging out. Looks over.
Half human, half bear. That's what it was.
I saw parts of bear and parts of human. Yeah.
Just ripping a dart. What's up, pal? Wrong stairwell.
Oh, man. There has since been different TC Bears. The first two could just hit bombs and they could catch everything. And then they hired like a less athletic TC Bear a few years ago that like couldn't catch the first pitches. Oh,
well,
man.
Yeah, the ball would inevitably go off the poor person's glove. What's funny is I still don't know who the original was, but we used to DM on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I still know who it was.
Big talker. Yeah.
I seemed like a nice enough guy. He knew a lot. What was going on.
He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yep. And including his own, clearly, since Phil saw it. All right. Final write that down from me is the Chargers will beat the Dolphins on Sunday, and Mike McDaniel will be fired before he can coach another Dolphins game.
Oh, so it's coming up. It's imminent.
Yep. I mean, my God, the body language of him walking off the field, and then that press conference that he gave was that Monday when he's just rambling on about Stephen Ross. I actually, you know what? I feel bad for him. Like, I don't think it's funny. I feel bad for that dude. But I think if they lose, he should be fired for his own sanity.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever supposed to be a head coach.
Right.
I think he's a great offensive coordinator schemer guy.
Yes.
And all right, and if you get off to a hot start like they did with their creative run game and their passing game, but once the league kind of figured out what they were doing schematically, and then they, their roster erodes a little bit, especially when you lose Tyreek Hill or he gets a little older. Is he the type of guy that can walk into a locker room of grown ass men in the National Football League and be taken seriously? I don't know. He always felt like kind of a goofball, and now that it's gone off the rails, he's like this depressed figure. He's going to go back to being a great offensive coordinator somewhere. Maybe even he knows KOC. Maybe when Josh McCown gets a job somewhere, Wes Phillips moves to a different type of position, and old Mikey McD comes in here.
Do you guys recall when Robert Saleh got fired last year by the Jets? Matt LaFleur hired him as a consultant with the Packers.
Yeah.
I would bring McDaniel in as a consultant tomorrow if I could.
Yeah.
Because I think he'd be great for ideas and to bounce things off of, and I think he's a really good strategic guy. But the Dolphins also are a mess. It goes beyond him. They're a mess. I think Stephen Ross is probably in the bottom 5 of people that I would want to own my football team.
It's a bad deal. All right, AJ, what's your final prediction?
I thought I was going to have this surprise factor, this big wow factor, and then this conversation basically just killed any and all of that for my final prediction. So write that down. Mike McDaniel, his next coaching job will be somewhere on the Viking staff.
Yeah.
He's going to get fired at some point.
That was your prediction?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I had that written down.
Wow.
Yeah. So if he gets hired, let's say he gets fired and then hired as a consultant somewhere else, technically this would be wrong because you're saying his next job, right? His
next job in football will be somewhere partly on the Viking staff.
But if he's hired as a consultant, because he'd be paid, it would count, right?
By the Vikings, yes. I'm saying if he gets hired somewhere else as a consultant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. My bad.
Yep.
I just feel like coming from that Shanahan offense, kind of under that tree, and then he's creative, and I feel like him and KOC are like similar ages, probably like they would get coffee together or whatever and be able to like just talk.
What, Kevin? You're saying Kevin and Mike?
Yeah,
they've worked together, right?
That's what
right. In Washington,
it's a great prediction.
Yeah. So
the history's there.
It's great.
Bravo.
It is like it's It's probably going to happen. I think there's a chance that it's either a consultant or he's just the next offensive coordinator, and maybe they move Wes over something else. But
what tight ends coach?
Well, could you see if their offense continues to kind of be like bottom third of the league? Could you see Kevin shaking up and if McCown gets a job somewhere else? I could see Kevin. He has not shaken that thing up, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, write this down. So right now, according to most odds websites, I don't know if MyBookie has this or not. MyBookie.ag, by the way, promo code Purple Daily. But I'm just looking at the most likely coaches to get fired. I'm going to say this. By March 1st of 2026, these coaches will be gone from their current organizations. Mike McDaniel, Brian Dable, Dave Canales, and who else do I want to throw on here? Brian Callahan, Tennessee.
Sure. Yep.
I'll say those 4 coaches by March 1st of 2026 will not be with their current teams. So we're going to do our quarterback cesspool challenge here in just a moment, where we look to celebrate bad quarterback play in the National Football League. Minnesota Rusco is here to help you not celebrate bad quarterback play, but fix your bad deck or whatever it is that you're looking to renovate or remodel. They've got over 70 years of experience. In fact, they're celebrating their 70th year in business, and they're offering throughout the rest of this month 70% off all labor on everything they sell at Minnesota Rusco. So that's right. So for the next few weeks, 70% off labor on all bathrooms, kitchens, windows, siding, roofing, decks, and doors. So if you've been talking about that expansion, you're going to take your basement and you're going to add a third bathroom, whatever it is. Maybe it's a new patio. Well, this is a good time to get 70% off all labor on those things. You'll pay no monthly payments, no interest until 2027 as well. So take advantage of the 70th anniversary sale. Minnesota Rusco, since 1955, minnesotarusco.com. Dickey's Barbecue is supporting Purple Daily this season as well. Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Eagan. If you've been craving real Texas-style barbecue in Minnesota, Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Eagan has all of the authentic smoky barbecue flavor you can imagine. Beef brisket, pulled pork, St. Louis-style ribs, spicy cheddar sausage, smoked turkey, marinated chicken.
Football.
That's right. So if you're getting ready for a big game, a gathering, Dickey's caters for any size group you have, and they'll deliver right to your door. The catering team is available, 866-BARBECUE, spelt out, 866-BARBECUE. Or you can just go online at dickeys.com. That's Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Eagan. And one more mention here before we get to our quarterback cesspool challenge. Viking Fest, Minnesota. If you're wondering, like, how can I get my Viking fix this weekend? They're on a bye week. You could go hang out with actual real Vikings at Viking Fest, Minnesota. A bold new celebration of Viking heritage, Norse mythology, living history. And this is the final weekend, October 11th and 12th. Hands-on experience for all ages. You'll see a historical Viking encampment, Viking combat, and live weapons demonstrations. There's a marketplace, contests, games, entertainment stages. There's family-friendly areas and adult-only areas. So bring your family, go with your friends, and enjoy a weekend of Viking Fest, Minnesota at the Dakota County Fairgrounds. Again, that's this weekend, October 11th and 12th. And you can learn more and get tickets at vikingfest.com.
Football.
All right, dudes. Let's pull this up here for the YouTube audience. The Quarterback Cesspool Challenge. It's a weekly celebration of bad quarterback play in the league. All 3 of us will look to draft a quarterback we think is going to perform poorly in his game this weekend. Once you draft a quarterback, you can't use that quarterback again the rest of the season. So you have to be strategic when you deploy your bad quarterbacks, or maybe take a risk on a good quarterback you think is going to perform poorly. We track each week using ESPN's QBR, a 0 to 100 scale. We've got weekly winners, and we've got the season-long aggregate winner as well. And AJ is collaborating now with Declan So that's a new feature here. Last week, I correctly identified Cooper Rush for another weekly victory, 29.4 QBR. Judd had Dylan Gabriel against the Vikings, a 39 QBR. Pretty bad. Declan had Carson Wentz. His guy Carson Wentz no matter what. He wrote down days before we even knew about some of the backups that were going to be starting, had a 45.9 below average QBR. Geno Smith was the worst quarterback in week 5 at 19.1. But a new feature here is if AJ was allowed to pick who he wanted to pick instead of who Declan wanted to pick, AJ, who also wanted Dylan Gabriel because he was picking before Judd, that would have been a better pick than Carson Wentz. So AJ, you with Bryce Young the week before, you would be 2-0 over Declan if you were allowed to pick who you wanted to be the quarterback in the quarterback cesspool challenge.
It's reassuring. It's reaffirming in my eyes. So I'm glad to know that at some point I can identify a less than ideal quarterback.
Yeah,
that's why I supported you. That's why I supported you in that thread. I said, let AJ do his job.
So your process this week, and you guys, Declan and AJ, collaborating together, hand in hand here. You guys get the first pick because you finished last week. Judd, you get the second pick, and then I'll pick third. So what was your process, and who are you guys selecting here for the Week 6 Quarterback Cesspool Challenge?
Dex was sort of banging on the table for this guy after last week, so I'm going to just take it right away for him. Dylan Gabriel is going to be his selection. I do want to say that of his preferred guys, because he doesn't have Dylan Gabriel yet, and he also hasn't. I can't read this. Yeah, but I think
the font's a little small.
Here's what I would say: if we're gonna keep the whole shtick alive of like what I would pick, I think Joe Flacco in his first game commanding the Bengals is going to be just a catastrophe. So that would be my pick. But
do we know if he's starting yet, or are they going to start with Browning and then? Because the problem there would be that you've already used Browning, so you'd be risking if you take Flacco and he doesn't play, you can't get Browning because you get the backup, but you've already used Browning, so you would default to a 75 QBR. So it would be a risk to take Joe Flacco.
So
take the risk.
I will take Dylan Gabriel for Declan, but but on the record, I would go Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's going to start. I mean, Jake Browning is a disaster. Putting him out there for 4 games is coaching malpractice. It's organizational. Forget coaching. Organizational malpractice. Fire everybody. I think he threw something like 9 picks and 6 touchdowns. I mean, it's just unfair. He's awful.
They should have traded for Jameis Winston. That would have been the fun look, right?
I saw they didn't even call about him or Russell Wilson.
Yeah, the Russ thing is totally played out. He should just retire. But like Jameis, if you're looking for a guy to just throw darts into tight windows and just give yourself a chance, I think Jameis would have been the option. Joe Flacco behind that line too. Oh my gosh,
it'll work out great. I mean, he's going to end up. The sad thing is, Joe Flacco is going to play his way into a hospital bed.
That dude must love football, man. Because it can't be about the money. He doesn't need the money anymore, and it's not like he's making $30 million. All right, Judd, who's your pick here? Quarterback Cesspool Challenge.
Be done. I will take last week's victor. Well, it was you, but it was also Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, it looks like, is going to start again against the Rams. So I will piggyback off that one and hope for another terrible performance as the Ravens sink to, I think at that point, 1-5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that leaves, because I've already used Cooper Rush and Dylan Gabriel, so I have 4 guys on my big board. I'll just kind of talk it through here. I've already used Browning, Spencer Rattler, Michael Penix, Cam Ward. I've already kind of successfully, though, burned some of the worst quarterbacks. So here's the guys on my big board. Tua versus the Chargers in a game where I think the Dolphins might quit and run into a Chargers team that's 2 straight losses. So I could see that being a total disaster. Aaron Rodgers against the Browns defensive front is interesting. But also, if they just run quick game like they did against the Vikings, maybe he gets away with like a decent QBR. Jackson Dart against the Eagles is a fun one. And then I have Kyler Murray at the Colts with all the weird vibes surrounding the Cardinals. They could either rally and put up a fight because they are pretty talented. But they could also just get boat raced by the Colts, and Kyler Murray could have one of those shrug emoji games. I think, though, it would be... What's that?
Did the new Call of Duty come out yet? I know it's right around the corner, so...
Check that schedule here. Hold on a second. Call of Duty.
He's beyond that now.
No,
They've
he's
just
not.
sort of...
No,
I'm saying that the Cardinals have sort of just punted on the season, it feels like at times.
November 14th.
All right, I'm circling that date for Dex.
I think we're going to save old Kyler Murray for November. Comes out in a month.
Look at you.
Now does he have enough pull to get an early copy?
No. Oof. He has in the past. They've done like the pre-streams where it's like we want to advertise but I don't think this early.
I think it's definitely Call of Duty season here. But I'm gonna go Jackson Dart. Give me Jackson Dart against the Eagles in this game.
Okay.
All right.
Old Jackson Dart. A lot of shaky stuff in his second game. A lot of bad interceptions. So there it is, boys. The quarterback cesspool challenge. A little celebration of bad quarterback play. All right, we got to run here. There's going to be a Trenches episode recording later today, probably dropping tomorrow morning. We've got Thursday tomorrow, Feedback Friday coming up here. But for Age, filling in for Declan, for the Sports Dad, I am Phil Mackey, and this is a podcast where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. See you guys.